The legendary art director Paul Rand once said, "Design is the silent ambassador of your brand." So how does one create a design for a brand that has a history of more than 200 years in India?
State Bank of India logo was designed for the basic simplicity. It was the keyhole. Has got particular connotation in Indian psyche that it's the security. All over India it can be recognized.
Shekhar Kamath isn't a name that any Indian would instantly recall, but his creation has stood the test of time for SBI since 1971.
So simple that anyone can draw. And those days, they had something like 3,000 branches all over India, and which is a lot for that bank at that time. A lot of the bank branches were in villages.
Kamath took inspiration from the bank tokens that would be issued to waiting customers in the old days.
And it used to be kept near the counter. So you have to push the token down, and many tokens are piled on each other. And that was the memory of the banking. And the color was again chosen a sky color, so they don't have to worry about coloring. They can look at the they tell signboard painter, look at the sky, and that's a color.
So what about that internet theory floating around that SBI logo was inspired by the Kankaria Lake in Andaman?
This whole thing, Kankaria Lake, has got nothing to do with it. Because I haven't been to Kankaria Lake. There is no way I could go up and look at it down. I had no idea. And I haven't really went that side at all.
Kamath was born in Bombay in 1944 and after finishing school, took up a fine arts course at the prestigious Sir J.J. School of Art.
My elder brother was a commercial artist in those days and used to draw lettering, hand lettering. And he used to do it for, all those lintas and soap advertisements. And I used to go, my first job after school, to work there for 2 months in lunchtime, in their advertising agency, grants. And one thing I liked, the people sitting at the table and doing just drawing. I said, this is a good profession, I want to do that.
His career choice would soon take him overseas and open up huge opportunities.
And I was a young designer, worked in London with a very famous design group at that time called Design Research Unit, which has done logos for British Rail. Our company had branded the whole Britain. From that discipline, I came to India. I was there for a short time, 2 years, as a professional designer. And I worked on State Bank at just first thing I came and did it in sort of 1 month's time. So there was no other people were there working on it at all. It's just me.
The State Bank of India, up until then, was using a banyan tree as its logo.
I think banyan tree had its own significance. It's a strong, stable, and it grows. I had no any negativity about it. But then, to be able to make it still simpler and recognized, a lot of people use banyan trees as a logo. It wasn't a common logo.
Kamath's job was to come up with something more modern.
This was the original logo, which is slightly different than that. A line was thinner. There are two logos in the banking sector which are similar. One is Chase Manhattan Bank. If you look at that logo, and that is designed by a friend of mine who is, again, it was designed in 61. Ivan Sharma, American designer, who came to NID long time back after I did my logo. Most of the time, when you're designing logo, you tap in subconscious memory of the person. In fact, the symbols or logo are so important because it bypasses language barriers.